Hi everybody, my name is Pollo Del Mar. Welcome to another edition of Name Dropping with Pollo. Whether you're joining me through the HuffingtonPost.com, GuideToGay.com, or through my YouTube channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. As a huge fan of dance music, I had a rare opportunity tonight to catch not one, not two, but three rising dance and pop music acts all on the same bill when the Girls for Boys tour, featuring Kwanza Jones, Liz Primo, and rising star Katrina, hit San Francisco's The Crib nightclub. Many of you know that The Crib is an 18 and over nightclub for the gay and lesbian youth and our allies here in San Francisco, and all three ladies lit up that stage. Many of you might already be familiar with Kwanza Jones, who I introduced you to a couple of weeks back in another previous edition of Name Dropping, but tonight she debuted or gave us a sneak peek of her brand new single, Time to Go. Now, Time to Go is the follow-up to Kwanza's top 25 Billboard hit, Think Again, which she also performed, but I want to give you a first listen to Kwanza Jones performing live Time to Go at The Crib. The sound quality isn't the best, I admit, but that is a first listen, so look for remixes of it. That and much more will be coming on Kwanza's upcoming CD called Supercharged, and I'm sure that we'll find out more details about that as the time approaches. Remember, Kwanza Jones, find her on Facebook and Twitter. Liz Primo recently released her first single called State of Amazing from her EP Exposed. According to Liz, just a year ago, she would have never imagined doing amazing choreographed dance routines like the one she turned out tonight at The Crib. But under the tutelage of former So You Think You Can Dance instructor Phlex, she is really working it out. Now, this young diva is pretty incredible herself, but I have to admit that while she was performing, I couldn't take my eyes off of Phlex. He's worked with such stars as Britney Spears, Rihanna, Beyonce, the list goes on and on. Hey Liz, maybe you should pass my number to Phlex. I think he was flirting with me tonight. Now, last but not least on that trio of performers was beautiful Katrina, who you can find more about at katrinamusic.com. She really turned it out tonight. She performed her first single called OPM, Other People's Money. I had an opportunity to go backstage with her and ask why she would have given up practicing law to go into pop music. Let's go backstage and find out what her answer is.
Tell me what made you decide to give up practicing law to become a club music singer?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
This is way more fun.
You might have gathered from just that brief video clip that rising star Katrina has such an incredible personality. Not only does she have a set of pipes on her, but that girl is just bubbly and delightful. Check out Katrina's debut called In the Blink of an Eye. It'll be coming out later this fall with the first single, OPM, Other People's Money, already charting. Many of you might not know this, but my former roommate, Brian Gambogi, is the Chief Financial Officer for Creative Monster Productions. It's one of the rising advertising promotions in all of Hollywood. And the Chief Creative Officer is two-time Oscar winner Grant Anderson. Well known to techie geeks, I guess. I'm sorry, guys, I'm using that term so lovingly. Because of his work on things like The Matrix 2, Reloaded, Grant has worked with everybody in Hollywood you can imagine. He worked on the Titanic film for James Cameron, which of course won an Oscar, and he's worked with even the creator of Spider-Man, Stan Lee himself. So Grant is considered a pioneer in 3D and computer-generated graphics in Hollywood, and he is largely responsible, in many people's eyes, for the influx recently of 3D films. Now, I had an opportunity to sit down with Grant recently and find out about his upcoming film project, which, of all things, is all about breakdancing. let's take a listen to what Grant has to say about why this upcoming film about breakdancing is going to blow people away. Everybody, two-time Oscar winner Grant Anderson.
And this director, his name is Benton Lee, actually did this documentary last year, which was the #1 documentary called Planet B-Boys. And so now Sony Pictures Green Gems wants to redo this as a kind of fictional film. So there's live action elements based on, we just filmed the freestyle event in Los Angeles, and we're going to be filming in France next month, and then in China possibly in January, where all these B-boy battles go on, they're called.
And it's going to be in 3D?
Yeah, it's all in 3D. So we're shooting it all in 3D because you can really get the, incredible dance moments. And we're also going to be shooting it in very high-speed film, so using something called a phantom camera, which is 1,000 frames per second. So you're going to see these incredibly slow motion in 3D dance moves that are incredible. And there's these things called, and this will be great for your blog here. It's called the latest thing is called tricking.
Tricking?
Tricking. You've never heard of that, right?
I've never tricked in my life.
No, of course not.
Once again, that was two-time Academy Award winner Grant Anderson, Chief Creative Officer for Creative Monster Productions. To find out more about what Grant has up his sleeve and what future projects he's got going on, not to mention what Creative Monster is up to, check out their website. I'm going to put that information right here. And Grant, thanks for being out and openly gay in Hollywood. It takes a lot of courage. I applaud you. And of course, thanks so much for talking to me. Now, we're almost out of time this week, but I've got so much packed into next week's edition of Name Dropping, you're not going to want to miss it. Coming up are my interviews with Dev, who you probably know as the person who wrote and sang the fabulous hook on Like a G6 for the Far East movement. You also might know her for her current top 20 hit, In the Dark. I'm going to be talking to her, as well as Skylar Grey, who wrote the #1 single, Love the Way You Lie, for Eminem and Rihanna. She also had a top 5 hit of her own, I Need a Doctor, with Eminem and Dr. Dre. Check out her current single, Invisible, which has a phenomenal message to it. I'm also going to be talking to Wilson Cruz, star of Noah's Ark and My So-Called Life. He's going to be coming to San Francisco with Scott Nevins, star of truTV's The Smoking Gun Presents. They're going to be doing a show at the Raz Room on Wednesday, October 26th. So I'll be giving you all of that and more in a future edition of Name Dropping. Until next time, my name is Pollo Del Mar. We've been Name Dropping. I'll talk to you soon.